Alright, guys. Okay. Hi, my name is Daryl Phillips, owner of Warpole J Gaming, and what we do here is listen to talk. So I think what we're going to talk about today is, because it's November 1st. It's not just this happy Friday, and I hope everybody has a great weekend without drinking and driving, of course. But yesterday, when I was reminded, I did a video about 3 years ago, okay, and the reason why I was reminded about this video is because of what happened last night. Yesterday, I was, me and Sophia were going to the store, to the Walmart market, and there's this guy. He was being arrested, and I guess he had stolen out of the liquor store. And me and Sophia had a conversation about it, and what we both said was that, we have no idea the guy's situation. Of course, it's wrong to steal. No one's saying that. But clearly, the guy had an alcohol problem. You don't steal that kind of thing unless you have a real problem, okay? And it reminded me that today's November 1st. It's going to be the holidays. You talk about three or so weeks from now, you got Thanksgiving. A month and a half from now, you got a Christmas, and then you have New Year's right after that. And as much as it is a joyous time for me now, and it's a joyous time for most people, there are some people, and me from my past, that the holidays are awful. Okay? And there's a lot of things that happen that cause this, okay, that start this up. Now, I'm going to talk from my own life. I'm not going to sit there and give scenarios that I wouldn't know about. In my case, my problem is that I also have winter depression. It starts right around now, where my mood goes down. It's darker, you know what I'm saying? And the more north you go, the darker it gets, because the longer the nights are. I couldn't imagine living in somewhere like Canada or something. I can't imagine how bad my depression would be. So you got that, okay, and it affects bipolar disorder, okay? It's called winter depression. I've had it since I was 7 years old, long before I ever had the real bad parts of PTSD. I mean, I already had bad things happen to me, so I already started having signs of PTSD even when I was younger. All right, so you got that going on. Now, some people never get into alcohol and drugs. They get into other things that are bad. And it's how they cope with their emotions. It's how they cope with the problems. And in particular of me, for whatever reason, a lot of my stories, the bad parts of my life, a lot of the bad things that ever happened to me have always happened around the holidays. I can't explain it. Heck, my sister was born December 25th, but she had passed away right before I was almost shattered. Are they connected? Of course they are. I lost myself after that. Then I had the situation with my son happened right after that, and it was just like constantly. So holidays weren't good for me. But it's not just that, the bad parts of it. And my problem was that it was so difficult for me to remember the good parts, because my mother and father, my mother especially, she decorated the house and made sure everything looked nice and Christmassy, and she made sure that the holidays were wonderful for us. So when I lost that, it was devastating to my soul. Okay? And it didn't start out fast. It wasn't a fast thing. It started out slowly. This happens a lot, where the person fights it and they fights it, but the pain eventually becomes so bad inside, the ickiness, the nastiness inside becomes so bad that we just want it gone. And so maybe we have maybe we get drunk for the first time because of that, and it makes us feel better. So we keep doing it. And we do it and over and over again. Okay. Well, it became such a habit for me to just go to the bottle instead of dealing with my emotions. That's what I did. And holidays were the worst. Okay. Even when I met Sophia, and I started really taking this seriously, and I started trying to do the best I could, even though it wasn't much. Holidays were always bad, and I could always count for me drinking at least once. All right, and that's just how I dealt with my issues, in a very negative, downward way, not really working on anything. I know that my friend, I won't say his name. My friend is an Army Ranger, and he has done terrible things for this government. He has seen terrible things, and he drinks a lot during the holidays. He drinks a lot anyway, but he drinks a lot during the holidays. It's the way he deals with it. Of course, it's not the way you should. You should carry my ingredients. This is the time that people like me need their ingredients. They need to carry their ingredients. They need to have want to and venting and no distractions. Excuse me, and taking advice and no distractions and knowing that you're not alone. I felt alone, especially during this time. And my mouth gets so dry because of those meds. Excuse me. Been there. Got caught in the mouth. Got a piece of cotton in my mouth. So anyway, so it was difficult, but I started dealing with my issues slowly but surely, and I started getting better. And now, I love the holidays, man. Y'all are gonna think we're crazy, but we've already got the Christmas tree over here. It makes me feel better. So instead of, I took what used to be negative, and I turned it back into the positive parts of it, like when I remember when I was a kid. Will it ever be easy for me during the holidays? No. I never said it would be. But you have to deal with it without self-medicating. Now I want to talk about for a second kind of the definition of what I use when I say self-medication. I'm strictly talking about using your emotions. Excuse me. Instead of dealing with your emotions, you cover them up with a drug. I'm only talking about that because I don't see anything wrong with self-medicating yourself when you're in pain and suffering, so long as you're not overdosing and you're not becoming addicted to it. Sometimes I have to have a drink because of my physical pain. Now that I have my meds, I don't have to do any of that. So let's thank God for that. Because I don't like drinking anymore. I don't like it. But I'm talking about specifically during the holiday season, with the combination of winter depression. People like me, a lot of times, will go to do drugs, because they think it makes them feel better. And then what it ends up doing is making their life way worse. Maybe they do something bad. Maybe they lash out because they didn't deal with their problems the right way, so they're not venting right. So maybe they vent the wrong way and they hit somebody, hurt somebody, yell at somebody that they love. You become very hurtful because you're hurting. So screw the whole world, right? Who cares if the whole world is being happy because I feel miserable? I used to be a Grinch. It was hard for me to smile back then. And that's the thing, that when you see a person like that, or maybe you know a person like that, I know they're frustrating you. I know they get frustrating. Yes, I know. I had a friend. I had to let her go because she was a drunk, and she only would, like, she called me one time last year on Christmas, and she was drunk. I told her not to be drunk. And she'll die like that. If she doesn't change her life, she'll die like that. I would have died like that had I not done the things I did. And if I had not had help, and I've said this 1,000 times, Sophia picked me up like a puppy. I wanted today's live to be more of a PSA so that you can have a conversation. We're going to be discussing this subject a lot during this hot time of the year. Different aspects of how to help people and so forth and so on. How to help people that are going through this. But I wanted to discuss from my own life why this is an important subject. Because seeing a person arrested like that, it sucks. I mean, I feel bad for the person. But it's not going to stop them. Because eventually he'll get out and he'll do it again. It did not matter how many times I went to detox. It did not matter how many times I ended up in the hospital or something like that. Because I was too drunk. I just was waiting for that next bottle. I was waiting to get the hell out of there so I could drink again. Sober me up and get me out and let me start over again. It was kind of a ignorant philosophy because I couldn't deal with things. All right. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I just wanted this to be a PSA, so you guys think about stuff that. Think about this right here, okay, and then we'll discuss more of it and expand it outwards later. All right. I hope that you guys have had a wonderful week. I'll be on tomorrow. Trust me. Do not drink and drive, please. Please don't. Please don't ruin somebody's life, okay? Be safe when you're traveling. Be safe when you get there. You never know what you may find, but whether it be good or bad. Try not to self-medicate. I know it's hard, but try to talk to somebody. And if you don't have somebody to talk to, here I am. And I will listen. Be understanding of one another, not just from your perspective, but from theirs. You never know what that person's going through. You can't expect a person to get up always off the mat when they're laying down and they need help up. You have to help them up. If you see someone struggling in the fog, hand them a damn torch. Don't just watch them struggle. That's evil. Hand them a torch. And then if they can't, they're too afraid to hold that torch, take the torch out of their hand, guide them out of the fog. Don't just leave them there and think that they quit. It's not easy, Be understanding of yourself. Boy, I tell you, I have had to learn that lesson ever since I got out of the hospital, ever since Dwan's death. I have to be understanding of myself that my schedule has changed. That hardly anybody's going to be on my lives right now because they're all at work, doing their due diligence of their families. So you have to adjust. And you don't adjust according to your own opinion, you adjust according to logic. And what's the best about what is the best thing for yourself? In this case, what's the best thing for my business? Well, I'll do it now, because it's the only time I can. My meds affect me too bad. I'm still getting used to them. Remember, life is fleeting. You're not promised your next breath. So take now, go outside your box, and maybe you'll learn something about yourself. And until tomorrow, we'll talk a little bit about this, but we'll probably talk about other things. And I'll definitely give my normally ending message for the week. So until then, may the Lord light guide you in all things. Goodbye.